Oops, thank you for the 32 months. And Leto, thank you for the 42 months. Thank you guys. Thanks everyone for being here today. Really appreciate it. Really warms my heart to have the whole community together when new games come out, or even just in general. Stage replay and arcade mode are now available in the Hideaway.
What?
Stage replay. So does that mean it's not really an open world and I can't go back to areas? And instead you can just replay missions? Kind of remake style-ish?
Where to next?
I mean, I don't want to rush to conclude, because there's still side quests, so it's not like it's just replay stuff. Like, there's no way, because there's side quests, so there's got to be more to it than that. But I'm kind of curious why we would be able to replay. I mean, maybe it's just a bonus to replay missions, I don't know. Also, this makes me sad, because I thought this was going to be like a Coliseum or something, but it's not. It's just other things. Replay any previous cleared stage and be awarded a score based on performance. Restrictions on level, gear, consumables are applied. Gameplay mode will now default to action-focused. The more complex your battle techniques, the higher your score.
Devil May Cry?
Rainbow. While level, consumable items, and gear are predetermined for each stage, iconic abilities can be customized to one's liking. Equipment restrictions do not apply to accessories. So wait, the one thing I wanted restricted is not restricted? Well, now wait a second. I'm confused. Is it saying I can't change my equipment once I start, or is it saying it gives me certain equipment? What if I equip the Braveheart? It's gonna play all the cutscenes again, too? Oh god, you have to hold triangle to skip.
I suppose not. Did I mention the Big Deadly Beat?
Okay, yeah, so it did change me back to the broadsword. So you're given a set equipment. Oh, doggo! You're given set equipment. Why does it say... Okay, so your accessories you can change. But then once you start, you can't change them. So if I equip a timely, I equip a ring of baby mode, it'll stay on. Timely accessories are not available for use in arcade mode. All right. Well, that's good. That's good. So, I mean, that gives a bit more... That gives a bit more of a idea for me as to like what they were thinking. So in their thought process, they're thinking like, okay, let's just give them access to everything during the story. And then for the challenge, you know, we'll have the arcade mode. But see, I fundamentally disagree with that. Part of the challenge should be the game. It shouldn't be, and I know this is kind of an exaggeration because you don't have to equip this stuff, but part of the game should be the challenge. That should be part of what makes the game the game. Like even the story. When you are playing a game and you have some boss that's like this dude that they've been hyping up throughout the entire game, it should be a tough battle. That's like part of what makes the story great. That's part of what makes a video game great. You know, when you're watching a movie and there's like the final confrontation between the good guy and the bad guy, you can't experience how difficult that battle is. You can only watch it and like try to discern, oh wow, this is a tough battle for our hero, right? But that's what's great about video games, is that you can live it. You can fight Sephiroth and be like, holy crap, this is a 2-form boss with all these different mechanics I have to learn, and it's really difficult, and I died to it 10 times, but then I finally figured out and finally persevered, and then it feels like you persevered just like Cloud persevered, right? And I feel like they're taking all of that away by doing it this way, where it's like, well, let's just make the story as easy as possible. Like, let's make sure we have all these equipment that they can equip if they have any kind of issue. Let's have an easier mode in case they don't want to have any kind of challenge throughout the game. Let's just let people basically experience the story as if it's a movie. And then we'll have this arcade mode where stuff is actually difficult. And I feel like just fundamentally that takes away what makes video games great. You look at something, and I hate to use Souls as an example, but you look at something like Souls. Souls was given so much attention and love and became such an icon of video games because of how hard it was and how you could beat it and feel like you really accomplished something and brag to your friends that you beat it and help your friends through tough sections and stuff. Like, that was so much of a part of the experience. And the same with like old video games too. And now we've hit this more modern video game where companies want to make sure the story is as easy as possible. And then to make the core audience happy, they have some kind of difficult thing afterwards, which is good, don't get me wrong, but it just takes away what makes video games great. What makes video games great is the fact that you have to persevere through them. The fact that you can actually feel bosses being difficult and big enemies being like scary and stuff, you know, like all those emotions you get when you fight a hard boss. And I just feel like they're trying their hardest to take that away. It's just a shame. Like, it shouldn't have to be that way. And sure, have a difficulty mode at the start of the game that's like, hey, if you don't play video games and this is your first video game ever, sure, here's this like easy mode. I would also say for kids, but this is a mature game, so I don't think that's necessary, but sure, if I want my mom to experience Final Fantasy XVI, let's have a story mode that makes it a lot easier. But to give, just to take every single opportunity to make the story as easy as possible, have tutorials every 5 seconds, have hand-holding every time you could possibly ever get lost, have equipment in your inventory at all times that can make the game easier if you have any kind of issue, and have an easy mode difficulty.
Did I mention
They're just
the
trying to do
deadly beast?
everything possible to make sure that you never struggle in the
Trained
story.
assassin can't handle them.
Like, it's such a shame.
Reassuring.
You're welcome for that.
Like, it just sucks, you know? And it doesn't matter if there's a harder difficulty later. It doesn't matter if you unlock New Game Plus mode afterwards. I'm talking about your first experience. Your first experience of the game, you should have some struggles. And it seems like the longer video games are made, the more that companies kind of forget that. They're not really... Like, are players not interested in struggle anymore? Because I would disagree, given how popular the Souls games got. I think people are getting tired of games that hold their hand. That's the feeling I get. I don't think that's just our community. I think that's every community. I think every community is tired of games holding their hand. So why do they keep making them like this? It's weird. And in the end, it's really just a small issue. But it's just bizarre to me that they keep doing it. You know, it's just weird. Like, is this what players want? Because it doesn't feel that way to me. You know how many people that have, like, never played video games played Elden Ring and Bloodborne?
We still have a way to go.
Just weird. Just very strange. Oh, bro, did you play Forbidden West? Oh my god. I absolutely adore Forbidden West, but it is one of the worst hand-holdy games I've ever played. There was a part where there was a puzzle to figure out a code for a door, and it wasn't even a story mission. This was a side mission. This was a complete optional side quest. So it's not like they were worried that I'd get stuck and then quit the game and never see the story, because it was a completely optional side quest. And there was a code for a door, and the hint was that it was October like 17th. So the code was like 10/17. But immediately, the second I read that, the NPC that was with me was like, oh my god, October is the 10th month of the year. The second I read it, not even like I put in the code wrong at first, like just the second I read it, she was like, wow, the code must mean October, and October is the 10th month of the year. Therefore, I think I know what the code is gonna be.
Well, that's the undergrowth sorted. I'll take it from here.
Like, I can't even do a puzzle. Yeah, I get maybe being lost in the woods, and they don't want players to be lost in the woods because that's boring, but why even have a puzzle if you're going to solve it for me? Because no one plays Forbidden West for puzzles. You know? So, like, if you're going to just solve them, just don't have them. Just don't have puzzles. Have the door close and then spawn in some enemies for me to fight, right? Like, that's what's really bizarre to me. Is just why even have the puzzle there in the first place? If you're worried about players getting bored, just have some enemies there instead, right? It took more work to put in that puzzle than it would have been to just spawn enemies. Because that's already something that you do every 3 seconds. Like, that's not hard. Like, from a programming standpoint, it's way more complicated to program a puzzle. So just don't have puzzles. Just have enemies. Now, I try to look at this stuff like in a developer's point of view, because I know I'm a core gamer, so I'm not really the target audience a lot of the time. But even from a programming perspective, it just makes no sense to me why you would take the time to program the puzzle and then take the time to program the NPC to tell you the answer to the puzzle, when you could just have enemies instead, if the whole idea is like, oh, we're afraid that they're going to get bored. And from Square Enix's point of view, it's like, yeah, I get it. You don't want people to get stuck in the story, but this was a side quest. So it's just bizarre to me that that's the way they would handle it. I would say the game so far is pretty middle in terms of difficulty. It's not hard, but it's not easy. If I don't pay attention, I'll die.
Must be a nice
Pretty
day,
quickly,
lad.
honestly. Like, against the
Keep your eyes
bosses, at
open.
least. So... And you know, like I said, I think the accessibility options are pretty nice.
This way.
I think the rings are pretty nice. I just don't like the way they did them.
I'll admit I hadn't counted on
But
that.
for how different this game is in terms of normal Final Fantasy games, and how difficult I feel like it's been so far, I think the rings are pretty nice. Like I said, if I wanted my mom to experience this game, I'd probably be like, yeah, try those rings. I just wish they did it different. But that's beside the point. We're talking about
Well, they look none too happy.
not the rings, but the hand holding, which is a different thing entirely. I'm genuinely convinced that if I had my mom play Forbidden West, and I sat next to her, and I said, like when she was doing that puzzle, and I was like, hey mom, do you know what month of the year October is? She'd be like, shut up, I'm trying to figure this out. She wouldn't be like, oh, thanks, son, for telling me that October is the 10th month of the year. Now I can experience the game better. Thank God you told me this.
This is stupid. I like wolves.
I think they care, Sid.
Oh yeah. Big boom. Oh my god. I'm balancing him in the air.
You know what to do, boy. It's over.
Oh. Knocked him too far away.
We did what had to be done.
Doesn't mean I have
This
to
arcade mode is great.
No.
It really does give you
No, it
that
doesn't.
DMC feel of trying to keep style, use different moves. This is definitely adding more to the gameplay. Now, whether or not most people would actually do this during the game or do it like post-game, I don't know, but I kind of wish the cutscenes you could set them to auto skip or something, because
This shouldn't
the whole point of this is just to do the fights. It is cool to see the cutscenes again, but
still short.
the whole point of this is to just do the fights. Having to skip the cutscenes every time.
If you help me.
My thoughts exactly. Better already.
Trying to get these
Just what I needed.
precision dodges. Am I given these items for arcade mode? Like, if I use them, am I going to lose them in the... Probably not. So you might as well use them. I don't know how to dodge that.
Not this time.
Aye, aye. Someone's got the
Oi. Am I missing... Can I see my abilities? I don't think I can. Until I exit out. I feel like I'm missing one of my abilities I could be using.
Stops, no one knows.
too slow.
I doubt he'll do that again.
Not if we kill him first. Not this time.
I wonder if they're gonna implement any, like, hit him in certain areas. You know, like, hit his legs to knock him over or something. Because there is different targeting areas on this enemy. You can target, like, his tail, his legs. So I'm wondering if they're gonna implement something like that. Enemies having weak points. This Monster Hunter style. Ooh. He seems tougher. I feel like it's just because of my equipment that they gave me. And level, actually. I didn't check what level they gave me.
Not this time.
What's it say? 11. I don't remember what level I was when I fought him before. I think it was around 11. How do I have to keep going, or is that the end of it? I got Ness. Yeah, we're doing arcade mode. So we get to play the same mission again, but we get ratings.
Clive, what exactly do you plan on doing when you find this dominant of fire?
Yo, Raygun, thank you so much for the 3 months.
I'll show him the mercy.
Sid has the voice of someone who smokes 3 packs a day. Well, he does smoke in the game, so I guess it fits.
All right. Forest dark enough as it is.
Now, here's a question. Given that I'm given points for each leg, would it be best to make sure I kill everything in this forest? Like, find every enemy? What the heck is that trophy? Land 15 shift strikes or shift shots combined. Shift. Oh, I just realized I was on the item thing, not the dog thing. That's why I wasn't listening to me. I was like, why ain't the doggo attacking? You do that all the time. I think I'm gonna probably do that a lot too. If an enemy gets knocked over, that Phoenix shift is like perfect for it. I'm really excited to see what other circle abilities you get. Because there could be some really cool like movement options and stuff with that, depending on what they do.
See that river? We follow her upstream and we'll be in Lost Wing in no time.
In no time. Right.
Making sure I got all the enemies. and you burn your potions. It's nothing better than thinking you're in one menu instead of the other and like burning every item you've built over the past 3 hours. Were those arrows telling me that that enemy was attacking me? That's really nice. I didn't notice those before. There's like arrows that show you if an enemy off screen is attacking you.
A little help.
How's it going, Magic? Loving it.
Well done.
I have my gripes, but they're normal Square Enix gripes and not gripes with the game particularly, really. More like general video game, modern video game gripes. There's a couple things that are kind of egregious here, but it's all minor stuff. It's all just, you know, pet peeve stuff. Game itself is amazing so far. Also, I just dodged that fireball from behind me because I saw the arrows. That was amazing.
A little help.
Yeah, it's par for the course at this point. I don't mean to make it seem like it's a huge deal because I keep talking about it. I more of just keep coming up with other things I want to say about it. So apologies if it sounds like I'm like complaining too much. I don't mean to be. But I just keep thinking of other examples or things I want to say about it. And to be honest, it keeps coming up. They keep doing more and more things. Hopefully it falls off in a bit, though, after this mission. Man, I love charging up my sword like while he's staggering. It feels so good. I need some movement outside of combat instead of just running. You don't even, there's not even like a run button, which is nice. You just go full speed all the time. Okay, can I pet peeve again, if you don't mind? If you're not sick of me complaining. Why is it 2 buttons to skip the cutscenes? You have to pause and then hold a button. Like every other game, when you're doing, and this is arcade mode, which is like we've already done this mission. Why do I have to pause and then hold triangle and then wait for it to, like, can I just push a button? Because if you're trying to get an S rank, you're probably going to be doing this over and over. I mean, that's kind of Square Enix standard. Kingdom Hearts, you have to pause and skip, but it's actually, like, really nice because you just hit pause down X and it's super fast and fluid and actually feels kind of cool to do. Here you just pause and then hold triangle and wait. Freaking love waiting. This is going to be scary. I only have 1 item left, or 0 items left, actually. This guy doesn't screw around. I have to be careful here. Should probably take out the other guys first, huh? No! I'm gonna hit the other guy. Okay. Oh, no way. What? That's right. Also, if you know this is coming, you can just start mashing right away. Which is kind of nice, because if you know the fight, you get a kind of advantage over it.
Behind you. Get him, boy.
I'm gonna lock onto him, see if that helps a bit for this teleporting. I don't know how to dodge this. Woo! Got it. Oh, I canceled it. Dude, this fight is so dope when you do it right. I'm gonna try to jump off of him. It doesn't really do any damage, but it just looks cool. Yeah, man, you can't like punish that though. But it looks cool when you precision dodge it. I wonder if you could parry it. That'd be nuts. That's probably really risky though. Woo! He's got fire breath. If you can time the middle of their stagger bar, you can cancel some of their bad attacks you don't like. Like if you wait until they're about to get that half stagger. So that half stagger is a stun. And it seems to stun like through anything.
Not this time.
Time to mash square like 100 times. Where does he get? It looked like I knocked that sword away. I guess I didn't. It just looked like I did. I thought he had like 4 swords. Alright, so I think I got S on everything except that one I got an A. Oh, nope, I got some C's. I didn't even notice them. Now, what is this, Call of Duty? All the accolades? I'm a champion! I'm a champion! Suffered no damage during entire battle. Landed 10 attacks or shots immediately following a precision dodge. Attacked without pause for the duration of the stage's battles. Attacked without pause. I don't know what that means. Executed several magic bursts over the course. Defeated 2 enemies at the same time. Increased damage multiplier to 1.4 while staggered. Chained a combo for 20 or more seconds. Parried 3 times. Precision dodge 10 times. Magic burst 100 times. Punishing blow 15 times. Combined total of 10 shift strikes. No damage from Midnight Raven's Catan or Raiton. Thoroughly exploited Fafnir's vulnerability. Cool. It seems like there's some really like specific ones too. That's cool. Yeah, I use Magic Burst a lot, if you couldn't tell. Alright, we got an S. I don't know what that means. I don't get anything for it. Oh, look at this. Alright. Forget what I said. That's nice. I didn't notice it at first. Yeah. Nice. I was gonna say, it just seemed so weird to me that it was like, let's go through this again, but force you to skip every cutscene specifically. Okay. That makes me happy. Okay, so stage replay allows you to just replay. Okay, so there you go. Here's your XP grind. It does exist. You can just play a earlier stage and just like take all your... Yes, I take my complaint back. 100%. Because that was there before, I just didn't notice it. Yeah, you could just replay this over and over and level up. So man, you really need all the helpful hands when you can just go back and play stage 1 over and over and get super powerful if you wanted to. Bizarre. Okay. Maybe the game gets like uber hard later or something.
Do you think we should go and...
Because man, they're just giving you every opportunity to get strong. Also, I need to unequip this sword before I frickin' one-shot everything on the planet. Does look dope, by the way. Any new goods for sale?
Look what the girl dragged in. If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it.
A long sword.
You're rubbing me blind, you know.
Wolfskin sash.
It'd better all be here.
Traveler's bands.
You'll not find a better price than that.
The items are expensive. Kind of wonder if I don't buy items if I'm going to run into some issues. By the way, I have not died yet, so I don't know like what happens when you die. Like if it's straight up puts you right back in that fight, if it's like start the chapter. I seriously doubt it starts the chapter over. Seriously doubt, but I have not actually seen what happens when you die. Maybe I should die next time. Deletes your save. You have to play the entirety of Final Fantasy I to revive yourself.
Make it quick. What do you want?
Gonna upgrade my longsword. Or never mind, that's crafting. I could have just crafted one instead. I could have crafted a +1 instead of buying a 0. Played myself. But if I upgrade... Wait. It takes the same amount of scales, but less rewrite. So it costs less rewrite if I upgrade, buy one and then upgrade. Higher numbers, Craigasm.
Yeah, that should do you.
I can get a +2. All it takes is 1 meteorite.
Not my best work, but it'll do.
I can get a... Never mind. I thought that was still a longsword.
Anything else?
Where to next?
For now, we rest and regroup. There are far too few of us.
So far, things are still feeling very closed. I'm just going to the next mission every time.
Heal any quicker with you hovering around like a blood fly.
But you can at least replay missions. Steal all of Sid's goods. Let's read Sid's diary. Dear diary. Shara. See, it's hard for me to tell. It's hard for me to tell my monitor versus your guys's view. But on my monitor, it is pretty dark, like in here.
Careful, you. I've spent the whole morning on these steps.
I think you're just seeing what I'm seeing. Like, it is pretty dark sometimes. Yeah. I don't think it's a matter of me bumping up my brightness. I think the game is just actually a bit dark. A lot of people like just bumping up the brightness a bit when they play games, because most games are just generally kind of dark. Since I started at this brightness, I'll just stay at this brightness for the sake of consistency.
There's a good girl.
But yeah, wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people bump the brightness up. I've been doing that more and more with games. Whenever they have that, like, bump up the brightness until you can't see this icon, I usually just go like a bit higher than it says. I'm still sad that so far we can't like just... Like, I want to go back to the forest and just walk around. You know what I mean? That's my only complaint right now. But maybe some of the bigger areas you can, and then... It's either going to be... There's bigger areas that you can go back to and explore, or you get like a side quest to go back, and then that's how you do it. But it's just a shame that I can't just like go there and just fight some stuff. Instead, I have to redo the mission, listen to the dialogue again, skip the cutscenes at least, but it's the same exact fights. Same exact, this fight, this fight, this fight, boss. Oh yeah, there's plenty of games like that, but this is Final Fantasy, so I'm rating it like a Final Fantasy. And, you know, 15 was straight up open world, so this is a bit of a departure from that, which I'm not against, but just pointing it out. It is a bit of a departure from the previous game.
Before sunset.
I didn't realize we were this
But
close.
it fits, because I think this should be more story driven.
They built the village around.
The fallen ruin. I've heard some call it an airship. Though it's flying,
Of
there,
course.
seems to be behind it. It's a shame.
Sit in the airship.
You truly think a dominant's waiting for us in that village?
My scout has never given me any reason to doubt him. Which is why I think we should hurry. Come on.
Ooh. Tuning with an obelisk clause, climb to travel quickly to the location via both the world map and local map. So maybe that'll stay active, and once we're done with this mission, I can teleport back to that and fight stuff. Yeah, you know, it's like, do you make the game open world, or do you make it more story driven? And the problem with 15 was that it was too open and there was no story. And here, oh, now I get a local map. So yeah, this is probably an area that you can return to because there's a local map. So I guess there's just some places you can return to and some places you can't. You know, this game, they obviously wanted to go more story driven, so it just makes sense that the gameplay fits it. Whoa, 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 what is that? Suddenly I can run faster? Must be because it's a big open area, they just give me a faster run. Yeah, this area is definitely feeling more open in terms of just running around fighting stuff. You see some boys over there, though. Oh yeah, look at that jump now.
Figures up ahead.
But are they friends or foes?
Gotta get the Sonic go fast, and then you can jump. Huh.
That's enough.
That was brutal. Hit him with the charge fire and then rush him and just yeet him. There's something up here. Secrets.
Excellent. Another fight. Stay down.
Holy crap. Oh yeah. Open up. Is that really all that was up here? There's some wolves. It's looking like Ohio over here. I don't think they're friendly.
Keep your distance, boy.
Oh yeah.
Get him, boy.
The doggo combo. Kick, kick, boot.
Looters. But why? What is it they want?
You're welcome to ask the next ones we meet. Let me know how it goes.
But we got lots of vineyards in Ohio, actually. Whenever you look up, like, things to do in this area, you almost always get a vineyard. I know, because I always check what to do in towns that I'm going to, and it always says, go to this vineyard, and I'm always like, no, vineyards are the most boring area. That is the most boring. I don't know why people go to vineyards. Like, if you're really into wine, it's like, okay. But other than that, they're, like, so boring. Neat grapes.
Royalists.
Or anyone else for that matter. It's too bloody quiet. Even for this hour.
What do we do now?
First we look for my scouts. You start here, I'll circle round the back.
How do I let you know if I find him?
Good question. Shout?
Subtle.
That'll work. Send Torgal.
I don't even know what he looks like.
Yeah, if you're a wine connoisseur, the vineyard is probably you're probably popping off going to the vineyard, but I am definitely not. Give zero cares about wine. Feel like a kid at the candy store going to the vineyard if you're a whiny. I don't think they call them whinies, do they?
The village can't be completely abandoned, can it?
That'd be kind of lame. Wino.
This isn't the first time
I
I've
thought
seen one of
wino
these.
was more like
Perhaps I can use them as waymarks.
a negative thing, isn't it? No? I always thought wino was like... had a more negative connotation. What would be the term for like just someone that's like... I guess you'd just say a wine connoisseur. A wine
That sounds like a child.
activist. I don't know. A purveyor of the fine arts. Drunk. Oh, you know I'm ignoring that crying child. I'm looking for goods. Not finding any, though. Is that a guard? Should I not go that way? I'm curious. Oh, that's
Miss me.
Sid.
I'm flattered, but let's stick to the plan, eh?
You don't seem to be sticking. You're just standing there.
It's all right. I'm not one of them. My friend and I,
What do you mean? I literally said if you're into wine, it'd be like being a kid at the candy store, but I'm just not into wine. I'm not crapping on other people's interests. Out of your mind.
with the Imperial Army, and we've come to help. Do you know where your parents are?
In the church.
Then I'm going to find them and make sure they're safe. Can you stay hidden here until then? To the church, then.
To the church. So yeah, I can't get the Sonic Go fast while I'm in here, so it must just be in the big open areas. Oh yeah, see, now we're talking. Any whinies in the chat? Whinies rejoicing. Finally, a game that tends to my interests. Finally, a game for me. Are they eating him? Giving him a massage?
This man's gonna die if we don't get into a healer.
Enough of your barking, dog!
About time.
Get wrecked.
Stand back.
Just the way he was like already moving that way and then just kind of like fell. Cracked me up.
Who the hell are you?
Clive!
He did say he would yell.
Thought you weren't coming.
You still alive, Gav?
Barely.
It's a weird yell though.
Been doing what I can for the villagers, but
I thought you were joking.
It's all right. He's with me. Is this everyone?
no, there were others. A pair of royalists came for the bearers just before you arrived.
Was a dominant among them?
Maybe. It's not like he was holding a sign.
Wow, what an informant you are. What?
I'll give you one guess where he's going. Clive, after him.
After him! That's so great. Who are you? Clive! I can see that becoming a meme.
Any word from the scouts?
Not yet, my lady, but we have the Dominant's companion. It's only a matter of time before we seize our quarry.
Very good. And what of the others?
The bearers have been taken to Caer Norvent.
Some may still be worth keeping should the Dominant elude us.
All is in hand, my lady. They will not be spoiled. I give you my word. Gentlemen, a toast! Will you join me? My thanks. To Our Lady of the Wind and the King!
Ugh. Imperials drink this piss?
Well, it would go some way to explain their breath.
Bah!
Lady Benedicta, Imperials!
And instead of killing them, you lead the rats straight to us.
Mercy.
So anyway,
Look what we have here, boys. An Imperial bearer. Good. I was getting bored.
oh yeah. I said I wanted more 1v1 human fights. That's not a 1v1 human fight.
Where did...
I'm still trying to figure out where her power comes from. She is like super powerful. It's interesting. This thing looks
What is
dope.
that thing? If this means
I
what
believe
think
it's
it does,
Dorada.
then Sid has
She
to
just said that. I whiffed. Woo! She ran into it though. Oh, canceled it. See, I told you. If you can time your attacks to hit that middle bar, you can cancel stuff. That's definitely going to be big.
Not this time.
What the? I thought I was out of the range.
You better be on your way, Sid.
Oh god, I thought it was closer.
Don't let them get away.
Oh. Wow. She got blasted. Increases healing potency of potions. Nice. I'm Clive Rosfield of Rosario.
Fighting you, even for a branded.
Clive!
Look who's here to save the day. Is this how you recruit all of your charges?
Don't recall you complaining, Benedicta.
So, Sidolphus, remind me, why was it that you betrayed your kingdom? I asked you a question, Lord Commander.
Why? Because I'd had enough of you and your king's antics.
And yet here you are, stealing my branded. What are you plotting?
As if I'd tell you.
Lady Benedicta, we have secured the dominant.
Always something, isn't there?
And she's gone. Did she say where she was going?
No.
Then we head back to Lost Wing. One of the villagers may have heard something.
But we can't just...
Which is why I sent Gav. The man has a nose for these things. Trust me.
Why was nose in italics? Is he a wolf? Is he a wolf man? She ran away like a Power Rangers villain. Maybe later she'll grow into a giant kaiju monster.
So, it wasn't about bearers at all. They were looking for a dominant.
Yeah, that's right. I thought we were hiding the bastard. Like any of us would keep a monster like that under our roof. Oh, no offence.
When no one talked, they started rounding up everyone with a brand. And then everyone without one and all.
And locked you in the cellar, hoping sooner or later someone would break. You know, things might have been different if you'd accepted my invitation.
Oh, don't remind us. We were all saying the same thing.
This is our home, innit? Don't mean we won't out when we can, though.
You said in it.
I'll drink too.
Oh, come hear the tale of Lord Dion the Bold, whose tamed worms 1,000 and slain the tenfold. 100 full legions the young dragoon led, and watched as 1,000,000 foes turned tail and fled. His lance
How's it going, Meta?
mountains, it spanned as the deep. The skies over.
Oh, where'd the frames go there?
Listen, Clive. Revenge won't bring him back. It won't.
13 years ago, I watched a dominant kill my brother right in front of me. And I did nothing. But now I can. I can kill the son of a bitch and bring peace to my brother's soul. After that, whatever happens, happens.
Fate. You're content to be its slave, then?
Kind of love all these, like, tavern scenes. People just yucking it up. It's like the 4th one we've had.
His radiance would have us believe the Imperial host invincible. Yet here we find the Empire's cornerstone teetering on the backs of a handful of cowards and cutthroats. Well, Bahamut may lead 100 full legions, Could it be that the young prince defends a house of cards ready to topple at the slightest breeze? Tell me something. Why do you not resist? Within you lies the power to slay gods. The phoenix perished in your flames. Yet you do not fight. You do not flee. You refuse your gift. Perhaps you are distracted. My offer still stands. Join us and you will be treated with the respect one of our kind deserves.
Lord Margrace, don't!
I'll give you a moment to consider your options. Do be gentle with them.
They're really, really setting her up. She's becoming quite the main character.
Clive. Wake up. Gav's back.
Also, that gave a lot of context to Cid, learning that he's from Gallowed.
One of the Empire's outlying strongholds, though apparently not strong enough to keep out the Royalists. The captured bearers are inside. I'm sure of it.
If Benedicta's orders are to stay in the shadows, she won't be traveling with many men. Meaning, she'll be keeping her prisoners together and close by.
Including the Dominant.
So, we find a way into the fortress and conjure a bit of chaos.
What about me?
Excellent question, Gav. You will wait outside the care and guide those I free to safety.
And miss all the fun. Why can't he do that?
Clive doesn't have your nose. He'd stumble off a cliff before he even found the men. Come on, Gav. You're the best man for the job.
Well, when you put it that way. Suppose I'd better scout ahead for any surprises. Don't you let him down.
I won't. All right. Shall we?
Not so fast. We wait until tomorrow.
But he's right there.
And if we leave now, we'll arrive just as the sun comes up. Maybe join the guards in breaking their fast. Come on, Clive. They only just took the place. They'll be there a while yet. We've got one chance at this. You don't want to waste it, do you?
No.
So, I still don't know.
Now that's settled. There's someone I want you to meet.
At this hour?
He's the owner of the tavern, and our best hope of getting a decent night's kip.
Oh, the map got pretty big. Oh, the shop moved here. Oh no, it's just a different shop.
Any friend of the innkeeper is a friend of mine.
You can buy materials. 40,000! A new song for 40,000 gil.
Keep fighting the good fight.
Hey, better than being a microtransaction. You right there, pupper?
You like that, don't you?
I'm surprised they didn't add to this with the new information we just got about him. Maybe it'll add later. Maybe we don't know everything yet. So seems like you can just travel to the hideaway at like any time, which is nice. It's in the middle of a mission. As long as you can hit the world map, you can just flop back here and it loads instantly. Oh look, Sid came back.
The villagers of Lostwig are sympathetic to our cause. They'll help us, don't worry.
What was I gonna say? Oh, so if Sid came from Wallowed, I wonder if like that's why they're looking for a new dominant. Because Sid was their dominant and he left. That kind of feeds into my idea that each kingdom had one dominant. There might have been some kind of like, when the dominants were first found, there was some kind of split where they were like, each dominant will be one kingdom. But then like, somehow the dominants weren't the kings though, not always. Seems like in Rosaria, the dominant was the king, but doesn't seem to be the case with the other places. The Iron Kingdom, they said that they treat dominants as like monsters, and they basically just slave drive them as well, not just the branded, but also like the dominants themselves are like slaves. So I don't know if it's exactly true that like each kingdom got one dominant. It might have just been like just so happened to work out that way or something, but seems like so far we have 5 kingdoms and they all had one dominant. The Empire has Bahamut, which I don't think well no, I think they did have Bahamut from the beginning. So the Empire has Bahamut, Rosaria had Phoenix, the Iron Kingdom has Shiva, the one kingdom that was fighting the Iron, I keep forgetting their name,
Where to next?
had Titan, and Wallowed had Ramu, but then Sid bailed, so now they don't have Ramu. So that might be why they're looking for this second fire dominant, because they might be down one, and they might need the help. Hey, thanks Clipless, appreciate it, man. We're gonna take a break here so I can eat lunch, but yeah, getting more and more interested in the story. And when we get back, we got to check the map because it looks like I can go here, so I might have been right. There might be small areas that are just like quick missions and then you can access them through arcade mode, and then like open areas where you can just go explore. So we got to see what that means, but let me go grab lunch and then we will continue.